Love incredibly tasty seafood? Welcome to Seafood 101, where we celebrate the journey from sea to market to table. For more than 100 years, Seattle has been the home of our commercial fishing industry and the North Pacific fishing fleet. Today, our industry has never been healthier. Seattle is the home of hundreds of fishing companies, shipyards, suppliers, and marine services. Fishing is the past, present, and future of the Pacific Northwest. If you love sustainably caught wild seafood, you've come to the right place. Visit PacificNorthwestSeafood101.com to check out all the delicious recipes, news, and upcoming events. Now here's what's on the menu for today's program. Welcome to Seafood 101. Hi, I'm Ken Saunderson with King County Maritime, and today I'm joined by Lilani Dunn, who's the Marketing Director for the Bristol Bay Regional Seafood Development Association. Thanks for joining us today, Lilani.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Hey, you've been involved with the seafood industry now for nearly 10 years. How did you get involved with the industry to start?
I studied food science and nutrition back in California at Cal Poly, and I eventually took that degree and went into food marketing with Dole. So I was in produce for about 5.5 years, and when life called me up to Seattle, it was a natural transition to get into seafood up here.
And what do you like best about working with the seafood industry?
Seafood is so authentic, and I mean that from the people to the product. I'm not a marketer formally by training, mostly, like I said, food science and nutrition. So it's super important for me to always be able to stand by what the product is, where it comes from, transparency with consumers, as well as the health and nutritional benefits, which seafood checks all those boxes for.
It really does check all those boxes in terms of nutritional benefits and sustainability. Talk a bit more about that great product that you've got in Bristol Bay.
Well, Bristol Bay is very plentiful. It's sustainable, mandated by the state of Alaska for many, many years now. I would say about 90% of the Alaska sockeye harvest comes from the Bristol Bay area. Our RSDA represents over 8,000 commercial fishermen who work extremely hard, pulling millions and millions of pounds of sockeye season after season. It's pretty remarkable.
You've got such a great job because not only you're dealing with thousands and thousands of fishermen, but you also work with grocery stores to help educate them about the value of Bristol Bay salmon. Talk a bit about your job as a seafood marketer.
That's right. So starting with what you just mentioned, it's super important for our retail partners to understand what makes Bristol Bay sockeye so unique, from point of harvest to when the consumers are eating it on plate. And the education goes beyond there, at point of purchase, whether it's in the freezer case, because there's many product forms, or availability of recipes or cooking techniques for canned sockeye on our website, and even educating the seafood seafood gurus that interact with customers, and that's also extremely important and a huge part of our job and program.
I won't say you've got an easy job, but because of the quality of the product, it certainly makes it a little bit more easier to go into a grocery store and say, hey, please showcase this Bristol Bay salmon because it is absolutely phenomenal.
You're right, and our fleet works extremely hard to make sure that the quality is maintained. Like I said, from point of harvest to point of consumption.
And it's such a big difference between the farm salmon and that fresh, wild-caught Alaskan salmon that you got up in Bristol Bay.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's pretty dang special. It sounds like you're really passionate about that career. Why is the seafood industry a great opportunity for women and communities of color?
It's super important. I know that we have limited time, but one of the key things that's so great and unique about seafood is that it's been a while for some time, and there is so much opportunity for women and women of color to bring their perspective to the table. If you're confident in yourself and your credibility, and you're welcome, by the industry. And I felt completely welcome to sit add value to the conversation. And that's why I've been around for, like you said, almost a decade now. So I really encourage, anyone that, is passionate, hardworking, and wants to work for an industry that's super authentic and continuing to progress and evolve. It's a good one to dive into for sure.
I've heard the industry described as a big family. Sounds like you're right there with that big family.
Oh yes, it is definitely a big family, and we all work together to get Americans to eat more seafood. Period.
And that's what it's all about, eating well with seafood, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks, Lilani, for joining us today on the Seafood 101, where we celebrate the journey from sea to market to table. Remember to hit the subscribe button below to keep up on all the delicious recipes, shopping tips, and industry news. Until next time, cheers to great eating with seafood. Thank you for joining us for today's Seafood 101 program. Seafood 101 is sponsored by the Seattle Propeller Club with the Port of Seattle. It's presented by the Alaska Bering Sea Crabbers, Bristol Bay Regional Seafood Development Association, Freezer Longline Coalition, and the Groundfish Forum. Special thanks to National Fisherman Magazine and Pacific Marine Expo. Visit PacificNorthwestSeafood101.com to check out all the delicious recipes, news, and upcoming events. See you next time as we continue to celebrate the journey from sea to market to table. Cheers